Good evening, dear friends. So, today we will learn how to quickly and safely relieve back pain at home in 5 minutes, 6, 7, at most 10, quickly, effectively, without pain, without problems. So, in general, for this, we will need the lumbar air muscle with you. Just like that, it is located inside. Those who talk about deep muscles, they should primarily mean this muscle, the iliolumbar, lumbar iliac, iliolumbar. It is located like this. It is located interestingly. All the main muscles are here on this side. It's on the opposite side, right inside. The kidney even lies on it. It goes from the lumbar region, from here, from the transverse processes, and attaches here, here like this, to the tubercle of the femur. And the second part, the iliac part, starts from here. It fills this place from this part here. And interestingly, it will not hurt on its own. You will never feel pain in it itself. When it hurts, this part of the back hurts most often. Here, the lower back hurts. Most often on one side, but it can be on both when they are in such a depressing state on both sides. For example, the left one is depressing and the right one is deplorable. And it turns out that it will hurt on both sides. Not like that, not like that. She can't work anymore. What are her symptoms? First and foremost, when you've been sitting and then stand up, it's hard to straighten up. The back starts to hurt. It could be on one side or both, and it hurts just like that. Most often, it's like a straight stripe. Iliac crest composition. A person also feels pain when there are problems with this muscle. And it happens. Very rarely, it also happens here, in this part of the thigh. It's such a muscle that the places where it attaches will hurt more when it's strained. But it can also cause pain when it spasms. But it's very rare that it's so well developed that it starts to compress something. Problems often start due to its weakness, and when it weakens, it starts to decrease not only in thickness, but also gradually starts to decrease in length. And after some physical exertion, sharp movements, it starts to get injured. Its fascia starts to stretch, and all the places where it attaches will start to hurt. Even such reflected pain in the joints can occur, these intervertebral sacroiliac joint. It's hard to bend over. You can't bend over when this muscle is working. It's also hard to get up while lying on your back. Either you feel pain in your back or you just can't make this movement. As if it's muscle weakness. It seems like the abs are weak. But in fact, the muscle itself can't make this movement. So what to do? First of all, you should try to train it. I'll show you exercises in increasing order, starting with easy ones and ending with more powerful ones. So here are some exercises to start with for those who have back pain. Even if you suffer from lower back pain, starting this exercise won't make things worse. If it doesn't get easier, then the problem isn't with it. If it gets easier after these exercises, then the problem is with it. Usually the first exercise is lying down, which we all enjoy. Here, lay down on your back like this. Here, and you just take your leg and lift it up here. Not to the side, but straight in front of you like this. Here, lifted, lowered. If it's really hard, then you lift and lower completely. Take a little rest and repeat this movement. If you already feel confident in yourself, yes, believe in yourself a little, then you don't lower your leg completely. If you don't feel any particular strain or pain, you start to make it more difficult. You move your leg slightly to the side like this, over here, like this, so that it is a little bit outside of this bone or heel on one line. But the further you take it outside from this bone, right here, the top front part of the iliac bone. The term is used in scientific medical. Here, you move it slightly to the side, and this is the same movement you make. For those people who have a weak one, when you lift your leg, the opposite half of your pelvis will rise like this. This is the movement you will have, just like this. That is, this half of the pelvis rises like this. If everything is fine, it will rise. The pelvis will be in place. If you notice that your pelvis rises like this, find some cushion at home and put it under the same buttock on the same side, just like this, carefully. And that's it. The pelvis will no longer turn, and that's how you train her. The same thing. If it's heavy, you lift it up, put it down. You don't need to lift it high because if you lift it higher, there will be no load. You train your legs with weight. That's it. This is like the second stage of training. If it becomes easy, well, in principle, to get rid of lower back pain, these two exercises you do, you will already notice the pain becomes less or not. These exercises will be enough to get rid of the pain so much. Well, that is the strength of this muscle. If it can lift your leg like this, it means it will already more or less hold your back. It will be easier to bend a little. So if you want, when you're lying down, to get up like this, yes. From a lying position, you have problems with this, it's hard for you to get up. It's a more complex exercise. But I'll show that a bit later. Next. So the first thing is, we just lift our leg forward. The second thing is, we lift our leg a little to the side. If the pelvis turns under the buttock, we put a pillow. Third, we give a little load. For this, you can use a rubber band, for example, like these. You can try first without it. You stand at an angle, lift your leg. If there's no load like this, you take a rubber band, hooked it on one leg, hooked it on the other leg, stood like this, lifted your leg here, lowered it, lifted it, lowered it, lifted it, lowered it. This is what you train in the next stage. The more the rubber band stretches, the more load you give. And all these are such more of a beginner's exercise. But what I like most is the exercise I'm about to show. Try to evaluate it too. You definitely haven't tried this before. Look. In general, it's just right after you've checked. If all this comes easily, switch to it immediately. If any of these are difficult, do them first. This exercise, out of all, is the best, top tier, the best exercise. Look, just like this, lie on your back and put one leg on the other. And now we lift the lower leg up. Lift it up like this. Lower it, lift it, lower it, lift it, lower it. And right here, you'll really feel the strain. On one side, then the other. The same thing, if it's easy, you don't lower it all the way. If it's not too hard, try to go all the way. This leg that you put on top, you don't put it like this, like you're used to relaxing in front of the TV, but you bend it a little and lift it up. And here you have to lift the full weight of your leg, and it happens automatically like this, that the second leg also pushes a little bit. It's also useful for someone to do this exercise. For those whose hip joint clicks. Some people don't like that it clicks on them. If it causes you any discomfort, well, when the joint twists. This exercise is also very good because often these clicks occur due to the weakness of the lumbar muscle. So try this exercise and write in the comments how you liked it, whether you did or not. If you liked it, write it down. If you didn't like it, don't even write and don't show up anymore so I don't see you. See you next time.